Welcome to the Home and Finance Show, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Janice Bradley, broker-owner of JB Real Estate Consultants, and joining me is my co-host,
Diana Rice-Wilkerson, lender with Fairway Independent Mortgage.
We are your trusted, seasoned advisors committed to personally navigating you through the home buying and home lending process. This show is designed to provide you with current and relevant information about different aspects of home buying, home selling, and lending so that you are knowledgeable when making decisions for you and your family. You can also hear us on Saturdays at Praise AM 1310 and 95.1. That said, if you are in the market to buy, build, or refinance, we'd love to represent you. You may reach us at the contact information below. Now, on with the show. Diana Rice-Wilkerson, and we have a wonderful guest also with us, Sherry Boudoin.
Hello there, ladies.
Hello.
I like saying that name. I wish it was my name. I would, make it just a little different,
Sherry, I'd watch her. She might be stealing your name.
Absolutely not. But we are so glad to having you on the show.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Sherry. Sherry, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to Janice and Diana for allowing me to be on this show. I'm really excited. And I know that we have collaborated and been in many meetings together and networking groups. I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. So a little bit about me. My name is Sherry Boudoin. I actually work for First Merchants Bank. I've actually been in the mortgage loan officer arena for over 25 plus years. So I've done exactly what Diana has done for many, many years. And then about 5 years ago, I transitioned over to First Merchants Bank, and I had an opportunity to be promoted to small business. So
that is so great.
And well-deserved promotion.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I truly love what I do. I work in a department called Corporate Social Responsibility, and we are considered the heart of the bank. So we're just a pillar of what the bank is doing to kind of help people prosper and kind of help in terms of affordable housing and making sure that we're having our allowing access to credit or capital for our small business owners.
Got it.
So that's what we are doing.
Better. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I'm very thankful every day to be able to be in this role.
Well, the very fact that you are a vice president of the community and business lending officer, that's a title, isn't it?
It's a title with a lot of responsibility.
Well, it is. It's a title, but I really try not to get so hooked up on titles. I mean, really, it's the passion and the work that I love to do. And I think in our department that we all love to do is being able to be a part of our communities and making sure that we are doing the right thing and that we're helping our, communities prosper, especially in the areas that we work, live, and play. We want to make sure that we're helping, our community. So.
Well, I'd like to say, good job.
Thank you.
Also, I'd like to commend you and First Merchants Bank for the position, for taking on the role. And to our viewers, this is huge. We don't have enough time to dig as deeply into it as we would like, but we are glad that you're tuned in today. And this is such a huge thing and can make a huge difference, like you said, in prospering our community, our clients, the whole entire bit. So kudos, Sherry, to you and to First Merchants.
Thank you so much. One of the things I want to say is that title or our tagline really came from our president, Mark Hardwick, just really making sure that we have something in there that's telling our story, which really is helping people prosper. I mean, that's what it's all about. If they're not prospering, we aren't prospering as a bank. So it all works together.
What is your responsibility, your specific responsibility? What is your role in the community department?
Well, I don't want to say I'm a jack of all trades because I'm not.
That's okay. Most of us are.
Yeah, but in our department, there's probably about 22 of us, and we all have a variety of different roles. My main role is, number one, is meeting and helping my clients, being able to have access to credit. That is my first and foremost responsibility that I want to do. And with that, you end up becoming a coach and a mentor to your small business clients. There's a lot of mentoring that goes along with that. We want them to see First Merchants Bank and myself as a person that they're going to remember when they need that additional financing for their business.
Right.
So it's not like we used to do or I used to do when it was a transactional on the mortgage side. This really is relationship building because
Definitely.
they will, continue to come back for advice, for additional funding, and I want to make sure that I'm there to help.
A partnership.
Partnership.
And we
Well
talk
said.
about that. Also, we are really trying to encourage people to have those really key folks in their lives. The attorney, for example.
Right.
The financial planner, right?
Right.
The banker.
Right.
And there are others as well. And you want to keep them long term because these
That's
folks,
true.
I mean, I'm sure you have become very good friends with some of your clients because you're going deep in their businesses and
We are.
and helping them, come up with solutions for things that they need.
Absolutely. And it's funny you said that because we do a lot of financial wellness classes, and I actually just did one about 2 weeks ago, and you are absolutely right. You have to have, when you're in small business, you have to have those good segments, good people that you can go to, like you said, the banker, making sure you have a good CPA. A good CPA is going to help you stay out of IRS trouble, which is really good.
Yes.
It's probably really, really good.
Very important.
Yes. And then also having a good attorney, because at some point along the line, being in business, you may end up being in a legal situation where you need a good attorney to represent you.
Is that what you teach in the financial wellness classes?
We do. We teach a lot of variety of different things.
Let's get on that a little bit, though.
Sure.
Yes.
And the last thing before I do that is I'd like to say too is also having a good small business mentor. That's
Yes.
really important because as a lot of the new businesses, I've been in this role for about a year, I find that a lot of small business owners really don't have somebody that they can just bounce ideas off of. If they have a marketing question or a social, being on the social internet type question. So it's having a good person to go to where you can talk and kind of run those ideas by you.
So real quickly, and I know we wanted you to talk a little bit about the financial wellness. So at what stage would you recommend a small business owner talk to you?
Well, when they're dealing with real estate, I'd like to see them come maybe 6 months prior to buying a home to come see me. And the reason being is because if they do have financial debt and it's business debt, we really would like to see that be under the business name.
Okay.
So that if we get into a situation working with Diana for the financing, that is already under the business and not necessarily the personal. So many of my small business clients are financing their businesses based off their credit cards, their savings, and some of these other things that just doesn't allow them to actually, really move forward because their
all
debt
combined.
is so high.
Personal and business is all under personal.
Right, and by having coming to me, we can kind of take a look at that, move some things over early enough so that when you
Okay.
run credit,
Right.
It doesn't affect them, and so
Yes.
then they can buy their $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 house and not have any of that debt affect them.
Exactly. I love it. And Sherry and I actually worked together to save a deal, so to speak,
I remember.
with one of our borrowers. And I fell in love with your program at that point, and it made so much sense. It made so much sense. In this particular situation, the borrower did have a pretty large business debt that was in their personal name, and we were able to move it over. And that's business debt, business credit,
Yes,
Right.
which
okay.
doesn't show on your personal credit.
Absolutely.
And it's really it's not taken into consideration because it's business debt.
Right.
And that debt is going to be taken into consideration through your tax return, so to speak. So it's
Right.
not like you're hiding anything, but at the end of the day, business debt is handled through your tax returns.
Right, and that's really where a good CPA
That's
can
exactly right,
come into
yes.
play because they can actually, help teach our small business owners on where that debt really should be, and if the business is paying for it, it really should be under the business debt and not necessarily of you personally.
Sure.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Janice's question about at what stage should a small business owner come to you? And the reason I love that question, because there are small business owners, right,
Right.
that woke up last year and said, I want to start my business. So they're a year in. Let's
Right.
say you might even have some that are 6 months in. Then you have others that may be 3 or 4,
3 or
5,
4,
10 years in,
yeah.
but they've never had this, they've never heard this before.
It's absolutely, and
You
that's
know
why
what I'm
I
saying?
asked that. You're
Yes,
absolutely
they never,
right.
so at what point, ideally, would they reach out to you and say, Sherry, I would like to meet with you, and I want you to take a look at my situation and see if you have any recommendations from First Merchants, maybe credit, business credit type recommendations that could help me. At what stage is that?
Well, I would say it really would depend on what they're wanting to do.
Okay.
If they're looking, for example, like buying a home. But I would say really, really soon as possible, really,
Okay. Yeah.
to be quite honest, because as your business grows, I mean, we're not always making those right decisions. And so I think having it done as quickly as possible can really help get your business on track for success.
Yes.
And that's really important. And as Janice had asked earlier about some of our financial wellness classes, I tell you, I love First Merchants Bank in that we have created a wide range of classes for our small business owners, anywhere from the business banking to succession planning. And you'd be surprised, a lot of people will say, well, I have this extra money, instead of going out and buying that car or taking that wonderful vacation, why not start thinking about an IRA or that generational wealth that we always talk about in our networking groups.
Okay.
Right, those things are important, and we have classes that kind of help with that. Succession planning, fraud, business banking and fraud. A lot of businesses right now are really experiencing that. So what are the banks doing to really try to help protect you from fraud cases? So there's just a wide variety of things, and these tools are available not just to our employees, but to our business owners, to anybody that wants to go into our internet, our website, and those classes are available.
That's good to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Something that I'm thinking about when I think about the small business owner and going back to using their personal credit to fund their business, in a perfect world, it seems like if they could get access to a line of credit that's in their business name, because if you do have savings and if you do have money set aside, sometimes it's best to keep that money set aside for those rainy day situations as opposed to depleting those accounts, trying to get your business started, which many times ends up long-term not doing well.
Right.
Do you offer business lines of credit?
We do. Actually, we offer a wide range of different types of financing, depending on what the customer needs. We have microloans anywhere from $5,000 up to $35,000.
Okay.
And these loans that we offer at our bank, it's pretty much based off credit score.
Okay.
So credit score 650 or higher, you can generally get a line of credit. We like you to be at least registered with the state of Indiana for at least a period of 3 years. But one of the nice things about this is you can close in about 8 to 10 days.
So 650. See, now this is another thing I like about these credit scores, because people think about bad credit. I mean, that's what you hear on television, right?
That's
Right.
it.
Okay, the bank is not making a loan to you guys if you have bad credit. So if there's a loan being made out there
So
with a
they're hearing
650
800.
score,
Yeah, they're hearing 800
that may be
credit.
just fine. Okay, just so you know, you can't believe what you hear out there.
Absolutely.
But that's fantastic, Sherry.
Right, and we do also have the CAP program, which is on the order of Indiana Housing, where it's a program that's offered through the state of Indiana. And again, it's 650 or higher, but you can get $10,000 for a line of credit or up to $50,000 on a term loan. But these amounts are really huge for our micro businesses.
That's right.
I mean, for someone that has...
So is that the small business?
Yeah.
SBA?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yes. And and this amount of money can really be huge, so you wouldn't have to use that business credit card.
That's right.
Or that personal credit card. That
Personal
you can
credit card.
actually. We always say it's good to use someone else's money.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
There you
There you
go.
go.
And then of course we do offer SBA, a wide range of SBA products. SBA is generally good for new business ventures, new startups. SBA, I tell you, it's a wonderful program that they're allowing to have lower interest rates, flexible terms. One of the things that I want to tell your viewers, unfortunately, is they don't go very quickly. So if you're looking at an SBA type loan or a line of credit, just make sure that you allow yourself time to get that process, because we're dealing with the government. So we all know when you deal with the government, it's not always quick.
Yeah. That sounds awesome. Now, let me ask this. There are a lot of real estate investors out there. I mean, I get these phone calls, Diana, I want to get into real estate. Do you make any loans to help real estate investors get into real estate?
We do. I mean, we do have loans that are available, lines of credit that are available to our developers.
Okay.
And so, yes, I mean, we are, we really want to try to be able to help people move forward with their dreams. And a lot of people want to get into real estate.
They do.
And so, yes, so if there's a way that we can kind of structure, the deal, I always tell clients when it comes to, coming in and requesting access to finance is have a business plan.
Yes.
Have a business plan so we can see what your experience is. We can see who you're trying to target. We can see just pretty much that you've taken time to put what's in here down on here. And that's so important because it ultimately becomes your roadmap.
Yes, it does.
As we all know, business is not always like peak. I mean, you're going to have those peaks and valleys.
That's right.
When you have the peaks and valleys, that's when you pull out your business plan. It is your roadmap.
And can the CPA, isn't your accountant the one that can help with your business plan?
They can.
Yeah.
They really can. However, I really think the business plan should come from the client, just because the business plan to me is their why. Why are you doing what you're doing? What is your passion? And you put that down in your business plan. And so for it to come from somewhere else, I mean, they may not have the passion and it may not come across as it is if you were writing it. So, it's really good. And even when I took this role at First Merchants Bank, I did a business plan for myself, because I had to tell my management team the reason why I wanted the job, who I was going to connect with, how I was going to do it, the time frame that I was going to do it in, and all those things were important. So when I have my ups and downs, because my months are not always like high, I can pull my roadmap out and take a look at it and see what maybe I need to try this a little differently or do this.
Tweak it.
So so I love it to be able to, when people come in and they have that plan written down.
So Sherry, what would be the highlight that you have as far as the product with First Merchants? What makes you really feel good about what you're doing? What would you say gives you the most joy?
Well, really, what gives me the most joy is a lot of my clients are real estate agents. So if there's any real estate agents out there watching, a lot of real estate agents don't think, well, I really don't need a line of credit, but we all know the market is kind of down right now.
Right.
So why not, allow yourself, a line of credit to be able to continue marketing, to continue moving your business forward, because it is a business that you're doing. So, so it brings joy to my heart to see when people are able to get their funding. I have a story where this one lady came in and she actually owned a snow cone business.
Okay.
And so people probably said, well, Sherry, how'd you do a snow cone business? But
winter.
but that was her passion. She has a truck and she she takes it around a lot of different places in the summertime. And I just think that was just a wonderful business. That was something that made her happy, and when they're happy, I'm happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so and I was able to help her with that truck.
One of the things that I'm thinking about when you said you had a lot of clients who are realtors and a lot of other small businesses as well out there is this need to be out on social media. Well, two things. The branding piece, which is huge today, and branding coaches cost money.
Right.
And social media folks cost money.
Right.
And that is a very good use of a business loan. Exactly.
Very good.
That is a very good use.
Yeah.
What do the payments look like on those lines of credit?
Well, generally, like for example, the one that we were just talking about at First Merchants Bank, just our standard line of credit, I call it our fast track because we close it so quickly. But generally, it's a minimum of $100 is what we'll bill every month. Generally, with that comes a checking account and then also an overdraft protection. So it's we always want clients to pay a little bit more so that they can pay it down. But what I really like is the money that they can use we don't monitor it. I mean, if they need marketing, if they need to pay themselves,
That's right.
wages, supplies,
Yes.
whatever they need to use it for, it's there. So we just want them to be able to continue accessing it and growing their business.
Is that the $10,000 line or not, or does that vary?
Yeah, it can vary. It can go from $2,500 up to $35,000.
Okay.
And then we have, just like I said, other products that we can do if we need more than that.
Okay.
So share with me this. So when you were talking about most of your customers seem like they're realtors. So is it the fact that they're going into business for themselves, or they're trying to buy a home, or both?
Well, a lot of it is that they're in business for themselves, and a lot of them are flipping homes. And they have their own LLCs.
Okay, got
and
you,
so
got you.
they come to me, and that LLC meets all the requirements, and we can put that line of credit in place.
Yeah.
And they could do their renovations for their home
Renovations.
and
Yep.
I have a couple of people. In fact, I'll have to give her your name because she's with the company now, but she's talking about going into business for herself. And so that I would definitely run and tell her, you know,
Great,
that's the
thank
first. I
you.
mean, I certainly would if there's no doubt about it.
Thank
And those
you.
who are thinking about it a year out, you know, well, do this first. And this is the most unbelievable, greatest asset. It's better than ice cream, you know, or something else that,
I
you know,
agree.
that we're, you know, some type of a decor or whatever.
Right.
But it really is, because it's education, and that's what we lack. And when you're talking about the community, and especially the minority community, you know, we haven't had access to this for
No.
you know, for a long time, or even if we have.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, minority-owned businesses and women-owned businesses, that's one of the reasons why they fail, is just having that access.
Yes.
Access to
Not
capital.
knowing.
And the access to lack of financial wellness, and we want to be able to change that.
and you are changing that.
Well, thank
You
you. We
are.
hope so. I mean, there's still so much more to do, and we can't do it alone. It takes our partners. I'm involved with Bankable, and they are a partner of us. So if for some reason we can't do alone, I can send it to Bankable. I can send it to Intend of Indianapolis, and they also have products and services that can assist our minority-owned businesses and women-owned businesses.
And I do want to take a minute too to talk to you about a group that Sherry, both of us belong to, which is called the Lender Council.
Yes.
And want to definitely let you know about this group, because it is a group of lenders and with varying backgrounds, lots of knowledge and the whole bit. But what we do in order to make sure that if we are having problems getting a loan approved through our company, then we will profile the borrower and actually reach out to our colleagues and say, hey, this is the situation I'm running into. If a person knows maybe how to solve it, they add that, maybe try this, try that. If a person can do that loan at their bank, then they say, hey, I can do the loan at my bank.
Correct.
And our goal is to make sure no one gets denied who can get approved.
Yep.
Because we know that when you are denied, you basically get a denial letter, you get discouraged. The letter many times does not really speak to the real issue to the point of solving the problem. And the issue could solely be with that lender that you're working with,
Could
and
be
not an
because of
issue
their
with anyone
underwriting,
else.
yeah,
So
guidelines.
just want you to know.
And
this,
it's a great group.
It's a great group. It's a
Yes.
great
You know,
group. It's,
and Diana, you know, toodles to you, because we know
Yeah, that's where it stems
that's
from.
where it started from, you know.
Right.
So, and it does work. It does work, and they meet often and talk about the different kind of maybe products that they
Products and
have that
programs
or
and
might have
changes.
changed, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Diana does it, but pretty much she
I
has
know.
it in her mind, and it's worked for everybody.
It does.
You know.
It
And we
does.
belong to a large group of in our CERA. It's what is it? Community. What is it?
Yes, Central Indiana Real Estate
Indiana Real
Association.
Estate.
Raising the roof.
Yeah.
belong
Anyway, to that organization. But my whole point is, so there's a lot of realtors, investors, inspectors, or what have you. We all need this, you know,
Right.
and we work together, you know, for the community. And it's basically, again, you know, what we love to do for the community, and that's why we do this show, to let you know.
Right.
That rhymed too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And so our message, one of the things I just wanted you to take away today, if you are a business owner or you know a business owner,
Right.
and you're listening to this, and like I said, if it's you or if you know someone, have them reach out to Sherry. Sherry, give your phone number.
Sure. So you can reach me at I give people my cell phone number,
Yeah.
which is 317-345-3168. Feel free to give me a call, or you can email me at Boudoin, which is Bou, D as in David, OIN, at firstmerchantswithans.com.
And your phone number again.
Yeah, your phone number again.
317-345-3168.
And you can always reach out to Janice or myself and we can connect you. But I just feel that there are a lot of self-employed small business owners out there that could certainly benefit from.
And they will.
Right.
And they will. And the other thing, whether you are trying to buy a house or a car, whatever you're trying to borrow, and your personal credit is involved in that process, you want your business debt and your business credit to be separate from that. So this is your first step to separate that out. And then, of course, once you meet with Sherry, she will probably offer you other options and suggestions.
That's correct. And I would say as a takeaway for me is, is to go out there and support our minority-owned businesses, our women-owned businesses. They are on the rise. In the next few years, you're going to find more and more women owning businesses, minorities owning businesses, and they are contributing billions of dollars to our United States economy.
That's right.
So go out, support these businesses, because that's what it's going to be like in the future.
Sherry, are most of your customers women?
Actually, they are.
Okay, great.
Right.
And may I ask what particular age group?
You know what, the age group really, I would say probably anywhere from 30s up to probably in the 50 range, 60 range.
Okay.
I mean, the courage it takes to go out there on your own. Because
Yeah.
you're self-employed. That means if you're not selling or doing...
And you're doing it by the seat of your pants. I know I certainly did starting off. Yeah.
No, Janice, let me tell you, I worked at a bank, of course, for 1,000 years, and most of, and I dealt a lot with the corporate bank, and the corporate guy, one of them in particular, we talked a lot, and he said, Diana, it's the person that has the dream, the passion.
Right.
They seldom they are not necessarily equipped with everything else business-wise.
Right.
And the reason why the businesses don't do well is because of that piece.
Right.
And then, of course, with banks, many times you have to be large enough to work with them.
Right.
What I love about you guys are dealing with just mom and pop or large corporations. It doesn't matter. So, again, kudos to you.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And again, thanks for having us. I really appreciate
Hey,
it.
we want you to come back. Now, can you tell us, and we got just a few seconds, when is the next financial wellness class?
Actually, these are webinars, so you can actually go onto our social media page and look up small business financial classes, and they should pop up for you.
And where do they go to the social media page?
It would just be firstmerchants.com.
Firstmerchants.com.
So www.firstmerchants.com. You'll get our Launchpad page, and then you can go into our financial wellness
And they're
classes.
free.
And they're free.
Do you feed people? Are they all day?
Well, we don't feed people,
Okay.
but we do feed them. We feed them with knowledge.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah,
That takes turn,
she
isn't
is
it?
very,
we
very
are so
smooth.
glad that you have Sherry has shared this information, and thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.